Why is it important to know about geopolitics and the economy of a country before you move to that country? After coming to Canada and living here from past 2-3 years, I have realized that it was a very important thing and I didn't think it through. And I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. So this video will be a really helpful video for all of you to clear out your mind and to help you decide and make a wise decision for yourself. So without any delays guys, let's get started with the video. Let's talk about point number 1, that is your geopolitics. Geopolitics often determines how your country to country relationship will be. For example, India and Canada right now are not in a good relationship. And this is directly impacting all the students who are applying for their work permits or their study permits here in Canada. The processing has become slower than how it was. A lot of high commission officers are now back here in Canada. They are not able to process that many applications. Plus the Canadian government itself is trying to reduce the number of students that are coming from India. So this is something that geopolitics shift changes. It also indicates what is the people's mindset over here in that specific country. So if you see that there are news, that there is allegations, there are war threats, there are terrorism threats coming from each other, that means that countries are not in a good relationship. Even though their economic conditions are similar or something, if that is happening, if you see negative news about the country's relationship, I think so that is not a good move to that country. Next part of geopolitics is you must see that what kind of threat that country has. Even if their economy is doing good, even if their conditions are looking good. For example, Ukraine. A lot of people took admission in Ukrainian colleges in the same year when Russia attacked Ukraine. But the indication of this attack was happening from past 1.5 years. Because Russia was constantly warning that we will attack. And they attacked. And a lot of students had to leave their courses midway, come back to India, all their investment, all the fees that they have paid, gone to waste. You can't ask them anything about it. Next thing, if you start following geopolitics of a certain country, you will get to know what their political emotion is, what their people's emotions are for specific topic of immigration or international students. For example, if you start following geopolitics of Canada right now, there is a very strong opposition for international students from the people of Canada itself and from the political opposition as well. So there is a big conflict that is going on over here. A lot of students are still applying to come to Canada, but the things will get tougher because Trudeau will be losing. That is something that you can say it from now only. Trudeau will be losing. Pierre Poilievre will be coming and he will become the new prime minister. And what he will do is cut down on the courses that are offered here in Canada. He will cut down on the number of students that colleges are intaking. He will even stop extensions of work permit, which already has started to happen. So these are the things that geopolitics will show you. Geopolitics is something that can predict a future of immigration program of a specific country. And for Canada, the immigration program looks like it's going to hell. Especially for the students who are planning to come here for any course and their plan is just to take PR of this country. That's gonna be very difficult. It is difficult for people like us as well. I have 515 points and I am still in the waiting list. I cannot get PR right now. I will have to wait probably for 6-7 months now. And then I will get to know that I will be selected or not. So this is something what is happening right now in Canada. And similarly, you will get to know a similar aspect if you look for the geopolitical news of that specific country. Kyrgyzstan is one of the example right now that has a geopolitical shift happening. There are students in Kyrgyzstan, the residents of Kyrgyzstan, they are attacking Indian and Pakistani students. So this is something that is also happening. They are under threat. So you will get to know what is the people's emotion. And people's emotion is very important. If you think that, okay, the fees is cheap, the education standards are good, then everything will be fine. What's the problem? Why I shouldn't go there? The problem is the people. If people don't like international students, if people don't want international students or international workers to work for them, then what's the reason? Why are you spending money? Why are you giving money, your own hard-earned money, whatever, even if you're taking loan? Why are you investing in that country? You have better options which have a good relationship with your country. For example, India and Australia, they have a good relation. India and USA, they have a good relation. Of course, if you are planning to go to China, of course I'll say no, don't go there. The relationship of India and China are on a very critical level. Pakistan, obviously, no one goes there. But these are the things that you have to keep in mind, and this is what geopolitical news or analysis will teach you. Next is the economy of a country. So for economy, I would say don't follow the country media or don't follow any other thing. Just go on IMF's website. IMF is International Monetary Fund. So they are the people who give ratings, who manage the international funding. They help all the countries around the world who are in debt, who are going to sink into debt. For example, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, all of these countries have gotten IMF bailouts, IMF loans, and even India in 90s, we have gotten some kind of bailouts and loans from IMF also. So IMF gives a rating of a country's economic growth. It gives a rating for countries' inflation rates, and it also gives ratings for next 2 to 3 years projection of that country for economic growth and the inflation rate. So what it will show you, if for example the economic growth is not that much and the inflation rate is high or is going to be high in that country according to IMF, that means there will be lesser jobs. That means they won't be hiring international architects or construction engineers. So you can get to know that, okay, so the economic growth is not good according to IMF, and it is projected that for 2, 3 years or 4 years, the economic growth will be low. The economic growth won't go that high. That means you will be in trouble. When you finish your course, you won't have enough job. And that same scenario is happening in Canada right now. We are going through a housing crisis. The houses rates are very high, which also is deriving the renting rates. So the rental rates also go high. And for example, you are a student, you are coming to Canada or going to any other country where the rental rates are high, it will impact you. It will impact your day-to-day life. It will impact your savings and how you are going to pay your loans in future. So these are the things that economy of a country will show you. And that's why IMF reports become very important when you are going to a different country. Plus, you can even see other global medias and their country media as well. Like, what is the projection of that country? What is happening inside that country? What are people saying in that country? For example, if you go in any social media right now and search about Canada, what is happening in Canada, you will find news of inflated rental prices, inflated housing prices, inflated gas prices, grocery bills, carbon tax, and normal tax as well. So these are the problems that are happening right now, but I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware that, okay, I was just aware that there are some issues happening between India and Canada. It's not that major. I was aware that the economy is bit in a slowdown because of COVID. I started education in COVID. So entire world's economy was bad. So I had no point of reference. But now, around the world, you will have a point of reference because we are out of that pandemic phase. You will know that what is the projected rate of growth of that country. For example, Canada, the projected rate is still going to get better, but on immigration side, it will go and get worse for the newcomers. So these are the things that every one of you should track down, note down, get involved into the news of that country, politics of that country, social media of that country. Just research on these aspects as well. Your level of education or the type of education that country gives, or is it cheap to go in that country, is the current immigration program is easy to get in over there. All these are primary factor, but these two factors, geopolitics and economy, are also very important. So keep that in mind, and if you have any kinds of doubts or queries or something, please go ahead, mention it in the comment section. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I am doing all these research and trying to share my knowledge with you just because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that I did. I'm not paying very heavily, but you might, or the people who went to Ukraine might. So just think about it, research well, and keep following Aki vlogs, guys. Take care. Bye bye.